volunteering is the perfect opportunity for students to learn and grow. So on that basis alone, that's why I propose that high schools in the state of California should have a mandatory graduation requirement of about 50 to 60 hours, which isn't that much of a large amount of time. Because currently I volunteer at the local elementary school near here by San Jose State campus, and I've received a lot of benefits from volunteering. And if you were here for my last speech, I talked about the benefits, which I'll go over again. My high school didn't require me to volunteer, but with the recent benefits I gained and the skills I gained from volunteering, I kind of wish it did require us to volunteer. So high school students would really benefit from this because they will help them find their passion or a career goal they want to pursue to keep students busy. And 50, 60 hours is not a huge amount of time. And as California citizens, we can make a difference. We can ask for this change, which is why I'm asking you guys to listen to my speech. So from personal experience, I've learned that volunteering really helps you develop skills, helps you find passion. So in this room, raise your hand if you know what you guys want to do in 2 years, or what your major is right now, what you want to pursue.
I do.
Well, girl, that's good. You're the lucky one then, because I know for a fact that more than a lot of my friends were very oh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do in 2 years? What are we going to do tomorrow? And volunteering helps you find that passion. I've had 2 friends who volunteered to coach the local 5th grade team back at home, and they absolutely loved it. Or at least one of them really wants to work with kids now in the future. So as an example of how volunteering can help you find a career goal. And as reported by the LA Times, Betsy Alcali, the Venice High School Community Service Manager, she said that kids often discover hidden talents and find new interests among other skills. And those skills are very invaluable, such as learning how to deal with other people, learning how to talk to people, essentially people skills that will help you further your career in the future. So in order for this to work for students have to be willing to go out there and volunteer and put themselves out there. And it's not just the individual that benefits from this, it's the community, and it's even a report. As reported by the Corporation for National and Community Service, volunteer activities can strengthen the social ties that protect individuals from isolation during difficult times, while the experience of helping others leads to a sense of greater self-worth. And if you didn't follow that, it basically means that the community gets stronger and you as the individual gets a higher sense of self-esteem. So the 50 to 60 hour requirement I think is a good requirement because it doesn't require students to give up large amounts of time, because over a 4-year span, 50 to 60 hours is only roughly 13, 15 hours a year. And most summers, as students, we're just sitting there chilling, not doing much. So you could use this. Students could use their summers to volunteer and stay active, and like I said, learn people skills. And this semester I volunteered for 20 hours this semester, and it's barely made an impact on my schedule. And it keeps students busy, like I said. And as one student, Daniel H. Oshok-Moscovici, as reported by the New York Times, he himself realized that as a member of a community, he had a lot to offer, and that's what we all could learn from volunteering. So, people say the mandatory volunteer requirement is that'll kill the purpose of volunteering, but in reality, volunteering is more about learning and helping others, and that's why I want to make it mandatory so students can learn those skills. So, what can we do, as citizens? As citizens of the United States, California, we could ask the Department of Education to make this change. We could write to our local legislation. We could ask our local senators, et cetera, et cetera. At the end of September 2012, as reported by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, only about 27% of teenagers aged 16 to 19 volunteered. And that's still a good chunk of students, but I want California to be above that 90% threshold. So just write or ask, someone up in the government to make a change. Or you can go local, visit your high school, or go talk to your local high school district around where you live and ask them, tell them about the benefits of mandatory volunteering and why it's a good idea. Because I can only see net gains from this, and really no net negatives. So just remember to go out there and ask. So volunteering can really help students, like I said, find a passion, find, not find passion, but keep them busy over their high school careers, because many high school students don't do much during summers, I would say, but it helps them develop people skills, which is very important in future career goals. So personally, I've benefited from volunteering, and I know that if I were to volunteer in high school, of course I would think of it as a chore at first, as a lot of high school students would, but the benefits, really come later on in life, especially with the people skills. So that's why I really want us to think about why it would be really great for high schools to have a mandatory volunteer requirement. So, you don't really have to donate huge chunks of your time to help out other people, but even like the smallest amount of time helping someone else could really change their lives, and you may never know, that person will go on to do great things in the world, and you could be the person that helped inspire him. So that's why I think volunteering should really be a requirement here in the state of California.